Welcome to this explainer. I was recently looking into the origins and health benefits of coriander, and the details I uncovered are absolutely fascinating. Whether you want to grow it for that fresh, citrusy punch it adds to your favorite dishes, or for its incredible ability to naturally detoxify the body, you are in the right place. Today, we're going to break down exactly what it takes to cultivate this aromatic powerhouse right in your own backyard.
Here is our agenda for today. We'll be covering 1. Origins, varieties, and basics. 2. Preparation and growing conditions. 3. Planting your coriander seeds. 4. Essential care and protection. 5. Harvesting and storage secrets. And 6. Culinary and medicinal uses.
So let's jump straight into Section 1, Origins, Varieties, and Basics.
Now, it's actually wild that one single plant gives us two completely distinct flavor profiles. In a lot of places, the fresh leaves are called cilantro, giving us that bright, amazing citrusy flavor we love in salsas. But the warm, spicy dried seeds produced by that very same plant, those are known as coriander. Oh, and here's a quick fun fact. Some people have a specific genetic variation that makes them highly sensitive to the aldehydes in the leaves. To them, it tastes like a literal mouthful of soap instead of citrus. So, if that's you can officially blame your DNA, not the herb.
And this isn't just some modern culinary trend either. Coriander is actually one of the oldest known spices in the world, tracing its roots all the way back to the Mediterranean region and southeastern Europe. Get this, it was so highly valued in the ancient world that coriander seeds were actually discovered inside the tomb of the Egyptian king Tutankhamun. So yeah, we are talking about a plant with literal historical royalty.
Looking at its family tree, it belongs to the Apiaceae family, making it a close relative of everyday staples like carrots, celery, and parsley. If you're looking to start planting, some of the most popular global varieties include Santo, Cilantro, and Leisure. But honestly, what I love most about the research on this crop, which is grown basically everywhere now, from Asia to the Americas, is its zero-waste nature. From the roots, which are amazing in robust curry pastes, to the stems, leaves, and seeds, you can use absolutely every part of the plant.
Okay, moving on to Section 2, Preparation and growing conditions.
Setting up the right environment is totally the secret to a massive harvest. To get optimal growth, especially when it's flowering, the data shows coriander thrives in a sweet spot between 17 and 27 degrees Celsius, with a soil pH right around 6.0 to 7.0. It is highly light dependent, meaning it desperately needs about 7 to 8 hours of full sun every single day. Any shade is going to directly reduce your yield, for sure. But here's the surprise. It's incredibly cold tolerant. If the plant reaches what's called its rosette phase, it can actually survive freezing winter temperatures all the way down to minus 18 degrees Celsius. No way, right?
But listen, the sources highlight a massive red flag when it comes to crop rotation. Coriander prefers rich, well-aerated soils, think Chernodems, so deep plowing around 25 centimeters is super helpful. However, because it shares that Apiaceae family tree with carrots, celery, parsley, and dill, planting coriander right after them in the exact same soil is a terrible idea. It basically invites shared soil pathogens to just come in and completely wipe out your new crop. That is a rotation detail you absolutely do not want to skip.
Right, let's get into Section 3, Planting your coriander seeds.
So now that our soil's ready, well-aerated, and completely pathogen-free, when do we plant? You essentially have two primary planting windows. There's a spring window from late February to mid-March. Now, if you plant any later than March, you run the risk of hitting harsh summer droughts right when the plant is desperately trying to flower. Alternatively, autumn sowing in September is a really fantastic hack. You plant right after the first autumn rains, allowing the plant to reach that hardy rosette phase just before winter hits. This lets it survive the deep cold and completely skip the severe heat the following summer. When you're physically out there sowing the seeds, the guidelines suggest spacing your rows about 15 to 45 centimeters apart and dropping the seeds roughly 3 to 4 centimeters deep. Interestingly enough, coriander has a surprisingly weak root system. Because of that, gentle drip irrigation is really the way to go so you don't waterlog it. It loves consistent moisture, but it literally cannot handle sitting in a puddle of water. As your little seedlings start to emerge, we hit Section 4, Essential Care and Protection.
This is the most critical phase. Every garden has its villains, and for coriander, it's basically a rogues gallery. You've got fungi causing necrotic spots, aphids spreading stunted growth viruses, and this nasty bacterial blackening that turns your beautiful seeds pitch black. But the absolute craziest one is the coriander seed eater. This sneaky pest lays its eggs right in the developing fruit, and the larva literally destroys your crop from the inside out. Your whole field might look totally healthy, but come harvest time, you find out the seeds are completely hollow.
But don't panic. The field trial data on targeted protection is pretty amazing. It clearly shows how applying the right protection specifically during that crucial flowering phase creates massive spikes in your final yield. It stops those pests, especially that hollow seed eater, dead in their tracks before they have a chance to ruin the harvest. It just really underscores that in farming, timing is quite literally everything.
Oh, and I want to highlight a major pitfall I noticed: the nitrogen trap. It is so incredibly tempting to over-fertilize with nitrogen because it rewards you with this lush, beautiful, bushy green field. But if your goal is harvesting seeds, that's actually a massive mistake. Too much nitrogen forces all the plant's energy strictly into the leaves, severely stunting your actual seed production. It's such a classic error, so be sure to balance your soil nutrients carefully.
Which brings us to Section 5, Harvesting and Storage Secrets.
After successfully planting and protecting your crop, it's finally time to reap the rewards. To get the absolute most out of your plant, you can continuously harvest the fresh leafy cilantro as it grows. Just, don't chop off too much at once. Then, if you're after the coriander seeds, you just wait until around July. You'll know they're ripe when they become fully spherical and turn a nice brown color. Once you extract them, the most critical step is to dry them completely. Even a little bit of leftover moisture will cause mold during long-term storage, and let me tell you, that is a heartbreaking way to lose a harvest.
So what kind of yield are we actually talking about here? Well, the global average sits around 150 to 350 kilograms of seeds per decar. But with optimal watering, precise sowing times, and aggressive pest control during flowering, a perfectly managed field can hit an astonishing 500 kilograms. That is the incredible difference that expert care makes.
Finally, Section 6, Culinary and Medicinal Uses. Let's look at why all this agricultural effort is so incredibly worth it for your kitchen and your body. Coriander is a serious nutritional powerhouse. It's packed with vitamins A, C, K, and iron, and it's actually revered in Ayurvedic medicine as kustumbaru for disease relief. Modern science even backs up that it acts as a natural cleansing crew, flushing heavy metals right out of your body. It's been proven to lower bad LDL cholesterol while boosting the good kind, and it even helps reduce blood sugar by enhancing enzyme activity. Plus, if you ever have an upset stomach, brewing those dried seeds into a tea is a fantastic, traditional way to relieve pain and aid digestion.
So, armed with all this knowledge, why not start planting your own seeds today? We would absolutely love to hear about your cultivation journey down in the comments. Whether you're whipping up a fresh salsa with the leaves or brewing a healing tea with the seeds, share your success stories with us. Just remember to always consult your local gardening guidelines and definitely check with a health specialist before using any herbs medicinally, especially since coriander can actively affect your blood sugar. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? If a simple, everyday garnish like coriander has this much hidden power, what other incredible secrets are hiding right now in our spice racks?